Joining us now to talk more about this is the former acting Customs and Border Protection Commissioner, Mark Morgan. He's also a visiting fellow with the Heritage Foundation. Mark, good to see you again.
Thanks, John.
All right, so we are also learning now that President Biden is spending more than $2 billion to halt border wall construction. This is according to a report from GOP senators. So it's costing money not to build the border wall, huh?
Yeah, John, look, right at the get-go, we said, and I've been out there saying it multiple times, as well as others, that when he stopped this, when Biden did this, it was going to cost the taxpayers billions of dollars. The mainstream media dismissed it. They scoffed at it. In fact, there were articles basically calling us a liar. And now here we have an official report that absolutely explains in detail how this is costing the taxpayers billions of dollars and about $3 million a day. And John, here's what's very frustrating for me is the Biden administration said he needed to study the border wall. Well, look, the Secure Fence Act was passed in 2006, where an exhaustive amount of research was done on why the border wall was needed. In fact, then Senators Schumer and Obama and then Senator Biden actually voted for the Secure Fence Act, which led to 650 miles of wall being built. And now all of a sudden they need to study it or it's not needed. It's hypocrisy and politics. That's why I'm outraged.
Yeah, well, I guess if you call it a fence, it's okay. Calling it a wall is a different ballgame, though, altogether. I also wanted to talk to you, too, about this Title 42. The Biden administration is now, waffling on their decision to lift these COVID restrictions that were put in place by President Trump and his administration. Title 42 has kept thousands of migrants out of this country. And, when you combine this with the Remain in Mexico policy, these were some of the things that halted the unchecked immigration into this country. What do you think this decision about Title 42 will tell us about the Biden administration when it comes to immigration? Do you think they'll keep it in place? And if not, what kind of message does that send?
Look, if they do keep it in place, it's not because it's substantively what is needed for this country, as you just outlined, John. If they do, they're only going to do it for political optics. This administration has shown again and again they are not concerned about our national security or border security. They are concerned about the political optics and their political power. I've been doing this for 35 years. And, John, look, it's not just about the numbers. As you mentioned, 190,000 in June, the third highest monthly total in 21 years. It's what those numbers represent. The Trump administration, we had reduced it by 75%. That means 75% less women and children were being raped and abused by the cartels, 70% less children and illegal aliens dying on their journey here, 75% less drugs pouring into this country, human trafficking expanded, the list goes on and on. That's what this represents. Border security is absolutely critical for this nation's not only a public safety, but our national security. This administration doesn't care, John. It's all about power and political optics. That's why I'm absolutely outraged at what's going on.
I want to go back to something you just said, a statistic you just cited, because it's significant. June, you said, is the highest immigration total in 21 years for any month. Now, normally, June, you start to see things die down because the temperature gets too hot. The conditions simply are too difficult to cross the southern desert. Why don't we see that this year?
Yeah, it's easy because this administration has said the message is clear, John, and not just to Mexico, the Central American country, but to the whole world that our borders are open and now's the time to come. And look, in April, that's another false narrative that this president himself tried to force down and make the American people believe that nothing to see here. These are seasonal trends. At the time when he was saying it, we saw a 700% increase from this time last year. That was a lie the moment they were saying it, but we knew it was a lie. As long as your policies are telling people coming, it doesn't matter how hot it gets. They're going to keep coming, and the June numbers show that. And look, make no mistake, more migrants have died because of the open border policies. Border Patrol alone have rescued over 8,000 illegal aliens trying to enter this country because this administration is telling them it's worth it. It's worth giving your life saving. It's worth risking your life and turning your life over to the hands of the cartels, because if you get to our border, we're going to let you in, never to be heard from, no questions asked. That's why I say the most inhumane thing that any administration can do is have open border policies. But that's where we're at.
Yeah, it does create that moral hazard. Mark Morgan, great to see you. Thanks so much.
Thanks, John.